Red states and blue states don't actually exist. They're not real. And here's why. If you looked at the results of every single electoral college map from 1980 to 2024, you might think that a deep southern state like Mississippi would be considered a red state. But that's just not really the case, because Mississippi should actually be categorized as a gray state.
We're more of a gray state the more that I look at it, and that's probably the most controversial thing I'll say.
But what is a gray state? Well, I wasn't really sure yet. So I sat down with Sabrina Boswell, who co-founded the Central Mississippi DSA chapter, to help answer this question.
So with the work we've been doing just electorally with Central Mississippi, we started looking into some numbers there, and we noticed something really troubling. And it was that, like the last general election, I think the stat is 60% of Mississippians voted for Trump, 30% voted for Kamala. That's actually a cherry-picked statistic. 30% of Mississippians voted for Trump, 18% voted for Kamala. About 46% of Mississippians didn't vote.
Yes, you heard that right. Almost half of all Mississippians didn't vote in the last presidential election. That is about 1.5 million people. But why didn't they vote? Are they just not that interested in politics? Well, no. They didn't vote because they're not supposed to vote. This population of 1.5 million are being suppressed by their own state government. And look, I know what you're thinking. This sounds crazy. This doesn't sound very democratic at all. How are these Mississippi politicians getting away with suppressing the voice of their constituents?
We're not voting, and it's kind of intentional at the point where a lot of people don't have voting rights, or they live an hour away from their polling station in one of the poorest states. Childcare, people like me who work, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Now I got to wait an hour in line to vote. And it does feel predetermined in the sense that it's gerrymandered.
Yeah.
There's uncontested elections.
That's right. Because of a combination of gerrymandering and many of the voting booths being over an hour away from many of the residents who can't take off work on election day because it's not a national holiday, many just simply can't vote. And if that still wasn't enough, in Mississippi, if you've committed one of 23 crimes, you permanently lose your right to vote.
We have an 1890 election law. 1 in 10 Mississippians, they can't vote. They broke a law when they were 19. You lose your voting rights from now until forever unless you go and petition the governor.
And the only person on the entire planet who can give you back your right to vote is literally Peter Griffin. Well, Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves, but come on. And if for whatever reason Tater Tot himself doesn't want to restore your right to vote, well, you're shit out of luck. There's nothing you can do. So yeah, if you get caught stealing a tube of toothpaste from a Walgreens, that means no more voting for you. So next time you see a state like Mississippi turn red during an election, just know it's not because everyone who lives there is a conservative. But you would never know that, because